How you doing, brother? I want you to introduce yourself. Go ahead and let everybody know who you are, where you from.
My name is Casildo Cortez, Lansing, Michigan, born and raised, north side of Lansing. Been here for 41 years.
Okay. You were born here.
I was born here.
You never left.
Never left.
Oh shit. Okay.
Well, the stories that I'm about to explain and the things that I went through as a kid, it just blows my mind to not understand that there is a higher force.
Yeah. And that's the talk to people about it too. They're like, well, some of them never been through that experience, and it sucks because you're like, I've been through it. Like I know I'm not crazy. I had this shit happen.
Right, exactly.
What are you supposed to do? But that's what I did the podcast for, because this situation, this subject in general is so important to me that I got to talk about it almost every time. And if I get guests that have experience with that, they're going to talk about it too, you know? And just so everybody understands as well, I do paranormal investigations. I will check your home and I will clean it. So if you do know of anybody that has a home that's haunted, and I'm not talking about just creaks at night and maybe some dishes moving. I'm like, if you really got some things going on and you need it to be looked at, I can do that for you, okay? I have experience. I have 13, 14 years of experience, maybe even longer than that. I've had done cleaning, so I can do all that. I can show you my resume. It's crazy. I've had some weird shit. Anyways, I want to get into the sponsorship. First and foremost, 420. My bad. I didn't even butcher it. 420. That's out on 4924 South Martin Luther King. So if y'all looking for some good shit, you want to sit back after work, you got back pain, knee pain, head pain, hand pain, whatever fucking pain you got, hit my man up. Henry Meyer, he's the owner of the shop, and he's doing real big things. The last time I was there, which was yesterday, just walking into the building, the professionalism was really fucking nice. I mean, the guys talked to me right away. They took care of me. They checked my ID. They walked me through, and they showed me everything that they had in the shop. That's awesome. So you can't ask for anything better and high quality product. I'm telling you. Well, I'm going to get into my guest, and because of my sponsorship, thanks to my sponsorship, Henry Meyer, who owns 420, I got a package for you, brother.
Oh, man. Let's see this. Okay. Should I open it up now?
Go ahead, open it up.
Oh, we're going to open it up now.
You can go ahead and show everybody what you got.
Let's get it. Okay. What is it? Certificate card, $5, no cents. This is nice. I like
that shit.
I like this. What else we got here? Premium. Okay, yup. Got more information on here. Nice. We got, oh yeah. We got that blackberry pie. I didn't even know they had blackberry pie. Boy. You know I'm old school. It's like glue. You got glue? You got some OGs? Let me get some of that real quick. That's some new stuff right there. That's some new stuff. Yo, really? Really? Yo, oh my goodness. There's some bad pre-rolls right there. Okay. Oh, man, gummies. Love it. And it's a vegan and gluten-free.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's what's
That's good. That's good.
Fine. Look, they're looking into the details, you know? That's what's important.
Okay. Oh, we got some accessories. We got a nice little pen. I need those. Need those. Yo, really? Another one?
Yes, buddy.
Dang. What is this one right here? This is industry size. I can't even see it. Yeah, I can't see that one. My fault. Yo, still? Let me just pull this whole thing out. Man.
I know.
Yo. Let's pull this whole. Yep. Oh yeah, I like souvenirs and like that.
What did that souvenir say?
We got the Futo.
420. Yep.
Yep. Futo. Yep. 420. Okay. Yeah. See, I'm
That's
that
gas. That's that gas.
Hey, he got more right here. All from pre-rolls. Oh my goodness. I think it's all the same though. This is the blue.
They might be.
Yo, this is the blue Puerto Rico. That's crazy.
Damn.
That's crazy. Yep, blackberry pie on this one.
Okay.
What we got on this one? Cherry Valley or Chicago Valley.
Valley.
Yeah. I didn't even know they.
Ain't that a blessing?
Man, that's good. I'm about to be super lit.
Shout out to 420.
Shout out for 420 on that. Yup.
Yeah.
Man.
Appreciate it. Well, brother, so let's start off with how old were you and where did it start in part of Lansing?
Oh, okay. So, born and raised in Lansing. I'm over here on Johnson, 915 Johnson. That's a crazy. I should look that up in the Bible, 915.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to say I had to been about between 5 and 7. Very young age, very innocent, don't know nothing,
Mm-hmm.
I remember waking up that morning and I'm running down the stairs. I'm, just as a kid would run down the stairs, and you got parents, you're going to fall down. You need to stop running. And I would say I'm pretty good at time. As time goes on, like I know how to tell time without telling time, which is crazy.
What part of Lansing? East side, north side, west side?
North side. North side of Lansing. Yep, north side of
North
Lansing. Right. That's what I'm saying. Had to be about 3 in the afternoon, and I just bolted down the stairs, but yet time stopped. I don't know how that would really work or how that really is supposed to look, but literally time stopped. You could feel the thickness in the air as you breathe. This time stopped. And I had about maybe 14, 20 flights of stairs. I could just feel myself just going off without stepping off. And just literally just floating down.
Did you get pushed or did you?
No, I got stuck in midair. Like if I was about to fall.
Oh shit.
Got stuck in midair and slowly levitated down to about maybe the last 2 stairs. Boom, time started again. And then I'm moving and running. As a kid at about 5 to 7 years old, what do you tell your parents? Like, hey, I floated down the stairs. My mom was a pretty religious woman, It wasn't until later in those years that my mom explained to me that the people that owned the house died in that house.
Wait, so your mom already knew about it? So wait, did your mom ever have like any like hauntings happen to her while she was there?
Yeah. It was a long before I came too. Because, I'm the baby of the family here. I got 2 older siblings. Yeah, stuff was going on that she couldn't account for or kind of make sense of. My father was a very, not a mean person, but he didn't take no crap from nobody.
Very strict.
Very strict, yeah. I think his energy brought that stuff in the house, And the people that he bought the house from, there were 2 old white couples. I don't remember exactly their names, but they did have that house for they pretty much had that house for quite some time. And then they died in that house a week after they sold it to my father.
Damn.
They died in there.
Let me ask you a question, if you don't mind. Like, when you went through that moment of floating and then you get set back down, did you ever tell anybody?
I went straight to my mother. Went straight to her room. And she just says, you were just playing.
Oh, blew it off.
She blew that right off.
Gotcha.
Like, what you know about anything? You're 7 years old. What you know about anything? But I knew what I knew. Like, time stopped.
Damn.
Time stopped. Like, I can't express that enough. Time stopped. And to literally just go through something like that opened up my mind to what's really going on out here. And, like I said, I have a real good sense of time, and I'll say I didn't really see anything going weird, going crazy until maybe about a week or 2 later, where I started to notice dark figures now.
In the same house.
In the same house. And that right there, being as young as I was, very easily influenced at that time, to the supernatural really, really put a toll on me mentally, because now I don't even want to sleep by myself. I was already a kid, you know, I could sleep by myself, I could be by myself. But once I got opened up to something, I didn't feel safe anymore. And my mom always told me, she's like, you need to be afraid of something that's here and it's physical.
Yeah.
I know what to do with some physical shit. I'm getting down.
Yeah.
What are you going to do to something that you can't see? And it's there moving physical shit.
Do you think that was her like safety, like her way
Yeah.
of just
Yeah.
not wanting to believe it?
Yeah. At that point, yeah. Because she's like, you know, I'm the baby of the family. I'm her little kid. How am I supposed to protect him? You know, so I'm in a way, she prays a lot, and I'm pretty sure I had a lot of angels around me and stuff, but I was very easily influenced on the dark side. I don't know, maybe this curiosity. You know, I always believed in God, even when I was growing up. Like I said, my mom was very religious and stuff, so I believed in God, and I just didn't believe in the cause of God. You know, like, if he is alive, why did he let something bad happen?
Yep.
You know, that's the mental thing as a kid growing up, is like, why you let it happen?
Yeah.
As an adult, I come to realize it's our choices and what we do in our life. That's why it happened. But as a kid, this doesn't make any sense at all.
Let's get into the details from when you was growing up, from that young child going into a teenage.
Okay, so that concept of believing in good and believing in evil, I chose evil. I chose it very willingly. And I don't want to sound funny about it, but if you look at Star Wars, you know, I'd rather be Darth Vader than Luke Skywalker. He got his hand cut the fuck off. The fuck? I want to be Darth Vader, and he chose the dark side. So it was very appealing to me as a kid. I think I'd rather be mean than be nice.
Yeah.
It's easier to be mean than nice. But life doesn't come with an instruction handbook.
Do you think that you chose that because that was like a form of bully, right? You just got tired of dealing with the shit, so you just resorted to that negative.
Yes.
Got you.
Yep. And it paid off for me quite some time as a kid. It paid off. You know, I wouldn't say I got rich. I wouldn't say, you know what I'm saying, I got a lot of money from it, but there were situations that were always presented to where there was chances to make money. There was chances always to be a part of something that would make money. So that was appealing, you know. I take a grain of salt for whatever it is. And wasn't really, you know what I'm saying, I don't care how small or how big it was, like, I'm going to take it. You know, I don't ever let opportunities pass me by.
Yeah.
Whether, you know, if it was good or bad.
So, how long did you live in that house?
25.
Shit. So you have a lot of shit to talk about.
25. I didn't move out of my mom's house until I was 25 years old.
Let's get into it, man. Tell us some crazy shit.
Okay, so I think it was.
Well, let's stay with the teenager.
Okay, let's stay with the teenager. So I got a couple of my homies. They were, you know, very skeptic. They didn't believe in none of that stuff. So I said, man, come on over. My sister's home. I'll show you a couple of things. And they look at me like I'm a damn fucking retard and shit. So I end up going back to the house. You know, we're smoking, we're drinking, whatever. And my sister's like, you ready to play? And, you know, my friends are looking like, what the fuck are we going to play? What the fuck? So she pulls out the Ouija board.
Oh, shit.
She said, you ready to play? Me, I already know.
How old was your sister?
50, I believe 54.
No. At the time.
Oh, at the time. At the time, she had to have been, what, 40?
Wait, she was 40 when y'all pulled out the Ouija board? You was a teenager?
Yeah, because I was 17. So no, she had to been close between like, 35
Yeah.
and 45, somewhere in between there.
Wait. So you're telling me so she's already used to playing with the damn Ouija board?
Yo, like I said, that's why I seen dark spirits already, because she was already opening up that portal already in the house.
Man, that's not good.
Man, okay, so she's told my friends to come through. Let's try this out. Y'all don't believe me or whatever. So it's like, all right, bet. So she pulls it out. She gets if you're here, do this. If you're here, do that. The common terms of when you play the Ouija board, if you're really trying to antagonize something, I guess.
Yeah, Anna said 35.
See?
Yeah.
So my friends and them, they're like, man, ain't nothing gonna happen. Suddenly, out of nowhere, she started telling like, do something. And underneath where my friend was sitting was a spray can. That bad boy popped off.
Wait. The
little air, yeah, popped off, and it looked like somebody was holding that bad boy down so it could just, because that's all you heard was just air compression just being let loose, and it was like violent, bro, because I could see that this just coming right out of the can and stuff. And I'm like, yo, what? And he's like, he spazzed out real quick, like, what? And I was like, bro, you probably should leave because obviously you don't believe in it, and it chose you. It chose you because you didn't believe in it. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, it's reading your thoughts right now, bro. Whatever you're thinking up there, bro, like that's what it's doing, bro. That's why it didn't mess with me, because I already know. Didn't mess with him because he's very religious, and so he's got to believe in something. You don't. You don't understand. So that's why it's on you right now. He left. He's like, dude, I'm out of here. He just left. My sister and them at that time, they were partying and stuff. So they're like, all right, we got him. All right, we out of here. And not knowing that she just basically kicked the shit out of whatever was there, because she was like, do this, do that. You ain't shit. You ain't that. Everybody leaves. So now I'm in this room by myself.
Wait, what? Was this a bedroom?
Yeah.
Oh, hell.
Now everybody's gone, bro. Like, I'm in this room by myself.
Don't tell me it's your room.
No, it wasn't my room. But I'm chilling in here.
Mm-hmm.
And all the stuff that she said, show yourself on TV, show yourself in the closet, whatever. It chose to go into an air can and scare the shit out of him.
Mm-hmm.
But as I'm by myself and I'm watching TV, I shit you not, bro. It was an old movie with Dolph Lundgren as a soldier. And if you ever look up Dolph Lundgren, the Drago guy, whatever, from Rocky, he was in the military movie, and he was, just taking everybody down. And in the place that he was at, it was in Japan. It has the flag of the Japan.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Tell me, while I was watching it, it had 666 on the flags in the TV in this movie.
Oh, damn. Damn, at that moment, especially with all that weird shit going on.
Yeah. Like, they left, and I'm watching TV smoking the blunt.
Damn.
And I just see it, and I'm just like, look, bro, like, I get it. Like, you ain't gotta fuck with me right now. Like, I get it, bro. I get it. It's all good.
Damn.
And, they never came back because they went out and they stayed wherever they stayed. I just remember being in that room, man, having lucid dreams, witches just staring at me in my face, but I swear like I'm dreaming, but I can just feel the breath on me.
So, at that age, did you ever consider praying to God, trying to get help?
No. No. Not because I was in fear of my life or that I didn't believe in God, no. I just knew like my faith in God was still strong.
Gotcha.
So like it being right there was just like a testament of like, do you really want this? Because it was always in the back of my mind, like, yeah, I kind of do, whatever. But I mean, somewhere deep down, I really didn't. I didn't really want it. I just like the flash and the pizzazz of it all.
The adrenaline.
The adrenaline, right? Yeah. The adrenaline of it all. And man, it was just crazy, being as a teenager, you know what I'm saying? And I wanted this, I wanted that, and I used to do some dumb shit, man. I used to conjure shit up.
With the Ouija board?
Nope. Just do it.
What would you do?
Oh, man.
Give us some details.
Oh, shit. Okay, so conjuring some shit up,
And I'll help people if they don't understand what the conjure means.
I guess you would call it a form of praying, but it would be nothing on paper. It would be nothing that you would kind of do. It was just something that you thought of, and that would be my paper. Conjuring it up, conjuring it up, conjuring it up. Not knowing what I'm really kind of doing, but let's get it, let's do it. And like I said, things would manifest itself to where I would have opportunities and I would go and do things. And a lot of my homies would be like, bro, how'd you run into this? Like, how'd you get this, bro? Like, damn, yo, like, and I just be like, yo, I manifested that shit. And they're just like, okay, you're just high as fuck.
I think manifesting might not be the word. Because if you conjured it, manifesting would be a little different.
It is a little different. You're right.
Because when you conjure, so you're making a deal.
You're right. Right.
See where I'm coming
yeah.
from?
Yep. So I was making a lot of deals.
Yeah.
I was making a lot of deals. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I can't tell these guys that.
Yeah.
I can't tell them that.
So during those times of conjuring up, what do you say? The demonic or devil or what?
Anything demonic.
Okay.
I settled for the lowest soldiers, the highest soldiers. I didn't care. I conjured them all up. From small to big to toughest, lazy.
You never got attacked. You never got scratched, bit.
I would say, yeah, I got attacked once because I didn't go through with the deal.
So what it sounds like is, first of all, where did you get the information to conjure? Did you follow like a Wiccan or Yoruba or some African culture? How did you? Because for someone, so obviously it sounds natural to you, but at the same time, like getting into that, like, and I'm gonna let everybody know, we'll get deep into like how much God is important.
How much God is important, yes.
But what I definitely want to get into is like, where did you get the information to figure this out, or did you just go off the whim?
I mean, if I had to tell my mother, if you had to ask my mother, oh, you watch a lot of movies. No, I think being a black, a Mexican, anything of that nature, even I mean, like Irish, man. Irish is pretty tough with that stuff.
Oh, you mix. That's what you mean. Okay.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like I think it's embedded in us. Yeah, it's embedded us blood wise.
And so what he means, everybody, is basically like your ancestor.
Yep.
Some ancestors do practice root work.
Yep.
And so forth.
Yeah, because it came real natural to me. I don't know why, but it did. And I was doing a lot of weird shit. I remember one time, listen, I'm gonna go back just a little bit. As a kid, like I said, I got introduced to this. I would then draw stuff on the wall because I'm a kid. I'm a little kid, 5 and 7. I'm drawing. I was drawing pentagrams, but I would put a T in it. I'd put a T in it
for the cross.
So I thought, right? No, as come to believe, that's kind of like the mark of the prince, the devil's son.
So do you think that you was being somehow not possessed but controlled by getting this? Because I do believe that when dealing with stuff like this in the negative field, a lot of times these entities, demonic entities, ghosts, bad spirits, because they're spirits that stay and they don't want to cross over. They stay. And for everybody that, again, they're like, how do you know? We'll get into that story later. But they will and can infuse information in you, right? So you can do the deeds.
Right.
Right. Especially if it's, and what it sounds like, and what's crazy is I'm waiting for a backfire.
You say you wait.
I'm waiting for a backfire because when you do rituals, when you do a ritual, you do a conjure or something the way you say you're doing, offerings is the first thing you have to do. Without an offering, you get punished, and somebody ends up getting hurt, or you get hurt. Right? It'd be like the closest people to you, or you.
Right.
You feel me? So that's why I brought that up.
Just having those moments in time in life, it's just, man, it's kind of crazy because, like I said, I'm not knowing what I'm doing, but I'm doing it, and I'm just kind of like going through the motions. Going through the motions, you know what I'm saying? And thinking it's cool and not understanding the consequences of what I'm doing. And like you said, when is it going to backfire? And I realized, you know what? Let me just put my life on the back burner. Let's use my life as a consequence. So never really had a goal in life. I just kind of been in the streets, thugging, whatever.
Life.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I figured that should be payment enough. I'm not succeeding in life. I'm only going down in life. That should be payment enough. What I ended up realizing is that, you know what I'm saying, when does that stop? And I was, man, so here I am, almost 20 some years old, and I'm just like, I don't even give a fuck. Like, I'm ready to be possessed. So at that point in time, I was like, let's do this.
So you was depressed?
Yeah. I was like, I'm ready. Like, let's go. I'd rather sit on the back seat of the burner real quick and just watch this demon make success happen for me. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather just sit back and relax. At least that's what my mind was as a young kid thinking. And, man, so here, 25 comes, I finally move out of my mom's house, and I get with this woman, and I try to grow up. And put all that foolishness behind me, leave it alone. I think I did pretty good for like 4 years. I didn't do anything demonically or anything.
And nothing ever happened?
And in that sense, nothing happened, yes. But the relationship just fell under pressure. I don't know what type of pressure it was or what was going on, but that relationship just crumbled. And it was right around the time my father passed. Okay. So that's the backlash. I think that's what backfired on me. It was waiting for me to be happy. It was waiting for me to become successful or try to be successful in order for that to be taken away from me.
Damn.
So that's what it was waiting for. Like I was prolonging the inevitable. So in the sense of it, that's when it revealed itself to me.
No way.
Yeah. So I think it was maybe like a couple days after my dad's funeral. I'm in the kitchen and I'm just cleaning. Bright daylight, let remind you, like his sun is gleaming through this window. And I happen to just get an eerie feeling, as anybody would, like somebody staring at you from afar, if it was your wife or your kids or somebody staring at you. And I turn around and it was just a big black figure just standing behind me. And at that moment, I didn't get scared. I didn't get startled. I just got surprised because I was like, I haven't seen you in a long time. Like a long time. The last time I seen that guy, I was still in my mom's house, teenager, red eyes, buff and big as fuck, you know what I'm saying? And just ready for me. And I haven't seen that motherfucker for 4 years. And now that all this tragedy was kind of happening with my relationship, with my father passing.
Not to throw you off, but I picked up on suicide. So at one point, did you ever try to take your life?
That happened when I was in my mom's house.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I am gifted. And a lot of times when we have these conversations, Spirit will come in and give me information that I need to kind of help guide the conversation. but I'm gifted. But let's get to it.
Yeah. That happened back when I was in my mother's house. I was like I said, from 20 in my 20s, like kind of just depressed, wanted to go, ready to go. Kind of made an attempt, but didn't succeed. That was crazy.
Thank God.
Yeah, right? Like, yeah. Jump back forward a little bit now. That's when everything picked up. Like drag racing picked up. 0 to 60, 0 to 100 real quick. Picked up right there. And I felt it. Like, I literally felt it. Like, yup, okay. I was never gone. You were never left. It was still there with me.
So just waiting for the time. Yep.
Waiting for that time and moment. And I left her. Shit wasn't going good, so I left her, got on my own. I got my own apartment, did my own thing for a minute, worked.
By her, that was your wife?
She wasn't my wife at the time, though. No, it was just a female I was dating.
Okay.
Yeah, just a female I was dating. And I go, to live on my own. Man, that's when stuff got real crazy then. It literally reminded me how small I was in the big picture of things. And I'm smoking by myself, and I happened to go to sleep. I was like, man, I'm tired. And I'm kind of a person that likes to rock himself a little bit to sleep, fidgety and stuff. Man, I just felt the hand just right on me, just grab me. Like, nah, man, what you doing? It's time to get up. We got some business to do. And I'm confused as fuck. Like, what the fuck are we doing? And I just remember just sitting there, lighting that blunt up again, and I put it down, and that bitch just turned into a tornado, the smoke. Just flaring like a big ass tornado. I said, you can go ahead and hit that, my boy. I'm good.
Now, this was in your house, not your mom's house.
Nope. And I go and fade myself over quick. I'm like, I'm gonna cut my hair or something, do something. And I live on the ground floor in Plumtree. Hooves. If you know what hooves sound like on concrete, them bad boys is heavy. And that's all I heard running through my hallway.
What year was this?
This had to been 2014 or 15.
Whoever there, they lucky that you was haunted, not the place was haunted.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah. Just a quick recap. So I remember doing something crazy when I was in that house. That girl was always talking some dumb shit to me. And I was like, you don't know shit about energy. Mm-hmm. She was like, what are you talking about? And I said, give me your hand. And I fucking popped the energy to her hand. And ever since then, she got scared. She's like, how the fuck you do that shit? I was like, you cool though? You good? She's like, yeah, but what the fuck? You didn't even touch my hand. And I felt shockwaves going through my fucking hand and shit. And I was just like, we're just going to leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? And I just left it at that and never brought it up. And that was like our first year of being together or whatever. And shooting back to what I was just talking about, having those moments in time where I'm just kind of being fucking overwhelmed with shit, thinking I got control of shit. I kind of start believing like, okay, maybe I need, you want me to do something. What is it that you want me to do? And at that point, I didn't know how to like make it come alive in that sense, but it was always, I was put in a position to make somebody disbelieve in God. I was always put in the place to make somebody disbelieve in God.
Gotcha.
And most of the time, man, I succeeded. Most of the time I succeeded. But it was only for a brief moment where I would stop talking to that person because I realized I'm already in their head talking. I'm like, this ain't the way, this ain't right. Because I believe in God, like. And then they just be all confused and be, you could just see a look in their face. It's just like, So that moment of time in my life, being where I was, that's where I was put there to empower the dark side.
Mm-hmm.
And in doing so, man, I always felt sick. I was always feeling sick. I was feeling drained of my energy. Like, holy shit. And I didn't, to be honest, man, there was, like I said, it was 0 to 60, 0 to 100 real quick. Nothing was letting up. Nothing was letting up.
At what point did you, after knowing what you know now, you're getting older, at what point did you start studying the occult? Because, so the spirit's telling me about that. And so you still got residue.
Yeah.
So you still have residue going on in your life. We can get rid of that. I'll help you get rid of that. Trust me. But we'll get into that conversation completely off the camera.
Okay.
But let's get into the occult.
So, hey man, I'm just going full throttle in life. And, I seen, how to manipulate people better, how to get over people better, only for my gain, never to help anybody. It was always for my gain, for what I needed, and never really cared about stuff. So I ended up moving out of Plumtree. It was just like, I just couldn't be by myself anymore. Like, I just needed to be around my mother, I felt more secure with my mother and stuff. A lot of stuff didn't happen when I was around my mother. And like I said, man, drugs was playing a big part in that. I was doing hella drugs, sorry for everybody else listening. Yeah, I did a lot of drugs, and, kind of numb myself to a lot of stuff. And then finally we all moved out of, Plumtree as a unit, and we moved to Genesee. This is kind of where everything stopped. Everything stopped right here. Everything stopped right here because I made a change.
And at what age was this?
This was, 28 to 30. So about a good 3 years on Genesee.
Got you.
It's,
and at any point, did you ever feel like it wasn't that, but it could be like mental health?
No.
Because there's a reason why I want to talk about that.
No.
And because a lot of times, and that happened to me too. Like after going through what I went through, I'm like, damn, am I losing my mind? Am I not okay?
Right.
Right. And then you start realizing like, okay, other people are going through it too. It's not just you.
Right.
But
never realized it was mental health. Never.
So
no.
You just knew.
Yeah.
From the back because it was the way it was happening. Okay.
Yeah. I may not be the sharpest tool in the shed, but I get the job done real quick. Yeah, it was Genesee where it was a pinnacle point. It was a very pinnacle point because I believe that house had demonic energy within itself.
Oh, you just happened to move into something that was already fucked up
and ready for me. Like been waiting for me type shit. Like that shit was sick. Because at that point in time, my senses were so high that anybody that would walk in, I could see what's attached to them already. Whether if it was a good entity or whether it was a bad entity, I could already see that type of shit going on.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I see that shit, I'm like, okay, if it was a good energy, left it alone. It was none of my business. If I seen a bad energy connected to your ass, I am fucking you up. I'm taking everything you got and some. And if you don't give it to me, well, then you know what? I'm probably going to fucking kill you. That's where my mental status was. And man, I got a lot of shit. This is doop, 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 doop. Seen a lot of shit go through. And I remember I freaked out a couple of the homies and stuff, we down in the basement. I said, who the fuck been downstairs? And, oh, ain't nobody, it's just me, blah, blah, blah. I said, why y'all playing with the Ouija shit down there and shit? And nobody plays with the Ouija shit. Like, I already knew, you know what I'm saying? And they're like, no, why not? So I fucking moved all the furniture and shit. And I said, look at this pentagram on the goddamn ground. Who the fuck drew that shit? What happened is that over a course of time of moving this tabletop. Oh, it's in my way. Let me move it. Oh, it's in my way. Move it.
What?
One part of the corner of that table carved a pentagram into the ground.
Oh, wow.
Of the concrete ground. Because the table itself, it was wood, but it had no weight. The table itself, it was marble. So you could take that marble sheet off, but that marble sheet was
heavy.
At least a good solid 90, 100 pounds. It was up there. So every time everybody moved it or put it out the way and moved this, it literally carved a pentagram on the ground. But like I said, I walked into this house knowing this shit ain't right. This house ain't right. My mom knew it too, but at that moment in time, we needed a place to live. So she overlooked that. You know, we need a roof over our head. She was making a transition to live with her mother while the rest of us were still there. You know what I'm saying? And she said, you know, once I kind of leave, you know, you guys are going to fend for yourself. And none of us were that responsible at that time to, yeah, we'll take over the payment of this place. And yeah, we'll do this. A lot of everybody at that point in time were shooting off in different directions. So this house wasn't going to be here with any of us at all. So things got like crazy. Like it was trying to do something. It was trying to get one of us. And it started to fuck with my niece because she would see somebody like walk, like not walking, but hear somebody walking back and forth in the hallway, you know, and my mom too, she like, at that time, yeah, I did hear something, but I just thought it was Snowbia, you know, but Snowy was like, no, it wasn't me. I thought it was you. So something was always in that hallway because the landlord told us the attic is off limits. So this would put me like, this motherfucker on some weird shit. This motherfucker's been doing weird shit in this house.
Was he American?
I never got to see him. I don't even know.
Y'all never even.
My mom probably seen him. I never seen him. I don't know what nationality he would be at all. I mean,
did y'all ever get in the attic?
I never fucked with it. No. I just knew something was eerie as fuck up there. Eerie as fuck. Wasn't even going to try to fuck with it because if the basement was already pushing out shit, I don't even want to know what the fuck going on in that attic.
Right.
I'm straight because that's literally where it was. That's where it dwelled. That's how I knew not to fuck with that shit because that's where it dwelled. It didn't dwell in the basement. It did a lot of activity in the basement and stuff, but that's where it dwelled, in the attic. And then I remember one night, man, I was sleeping tough. And that's when it came for me. That's when it came for me. Like, you know, all that shit talking I did over the years, all that rah shit. Like, it was ready to come for me. It was ready. It was ready to come for me.
Why you say that?
Because any other time it was always a standoff moment. This time, man, I felt like the grip, man. Like it grabbed my arms.
Would this be at night when you're sleeping, or?
Nope. This had to have been almost, during the day. This was during the day.
So you just sitting around
sleeping, yeah. Just sitting around sleeping, right across from the door where I know it's at.
And you feel someone grab your hand.
This whoop came right across, and I'm laying on the floor. I'm not even laying on the bed. I'm like tucked away off in the floor. Came around that corner of the bed and was like, bitch, wake the fuck up. It's time. Like, it's time. Time to kick in what you owe real quick.
Did you ever get to hear, like, it say things to you or chant things to you, or did you ever get to pick up on any of that?
That was like, it was always, hey, you know, just a reminder of like, hey, I'm here.
Right.
Never specifically said, hey, do this.
Would it ever make you feel like, I'll give an example, like let's say you have certain people there, but you get like bad thoughts or, you know, do this, do that feeling?
No. I would get more of a thought of, this might work. This person might want to hear this. this might be the worst to say. That type of stuff. But I don't know. Maybe that's just some other type of intuition. Like I said, it was never to the point where I was using for something for good. It was always bad. So I never cared because I was like, yeah, it's intuition, whatever. I'm just gonna just say it. And most of the time, yeah, it did work, but it was always for my gain, never nobody else's gain. It was always my gain. But as far as like, really hurting somebody, nah, never that.
So basically what it sounds like, it was wanting to hurt you
Yeah.
more than hurt anybody.
Yeah.
Because what you did would always come back to you no matter what.
Yeah.
And all your decisions in life, that would come back to you.
Yeah.
So at this time, you're what, 20?
28, 29. No, I was 29. Yep, 29. Because we're all getting ready to move out. We're all getting ready to leave. And I was going to go live with my sister. Because my sister, she got married. So she was going to go live with her wife. And I happened, what I'm saying? Like I said, I was just, everybody was kind of moving, doing stuff. So it was during the day. I didn't have nothing to move. What did I move? A bag of clothes. So I just stayed in the room and sleeping. Like, I didn't give a fuck. And that's when it came for me. That was a nice little eye wake up opener right there. Because at that moment in time, I had to choose. It was a choice that needed to be made. And when it grabbed me, it was just like, it was clear as day. When it grabbed me, I said, no. I said, no, I'm not going with you.
What made you transfer to that? Like, what made that decision to say, no, I'm done?
This one right here.
Shit, you just got tired of it.
Yeah.
I feel it. I feel it. When I was younger in that situation, and I was lucky because in the sense of that age, at the age time, and you're Mexican, I'm Mexican, so I was raised Catholic. I don't know if you was raised Catholic at all, but yeah. I was raised Catholic. And I realized, like, having God close to me, I had to have that. And I used to always say this, I'm one with God. I'll die for God, and I'm just a kid, but I'm still going through this crazy stuff. You know what I mean? But for you to go through that point and it impact you the way it's impacting you now, it just tells you how much it really affected you, And the fact that you was able to make that point from there to there, and to make that decision to just say, hey, you know what, this is what I got to do. But the question that I got for you is, having to go through that and make that turn, what did you have to go through? Like, how did you feel going through that change? Because, I mean, you know how that shit goes. You start to change and they don't want you to change. So what was your...
Oh, man. So the woman I'm with right now, I felt like, because I told her when I got with her, I told her, I was like, babe, I might got something following me. I might got something following me that I can't shake. And she'll definitely just be like, you're fucking crazy. Like, calm down. You just calm down. And for the most part, she's never seen stuff, which I'm glad for. I'm really glad that whatever I had with me, I think it's dissipating. I think it's gone. Yeah. But in that beginning, it was there in the beginning because we would have a lot of fights. But I mean, as a couple in a relationship, getting to know each other, you're kind of gonna run through that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? In the beginning, you're going to run to, well, I don't like when you do this.
But they do influence.
And that's what I think it was going on. Yeah. It was a heavy influence. And I knew it myself. I knew it. So I try to do a lot to not engage on it, and try to reassure that, things are going to get better. Things are going to get better. Everything's going to be all right. I put a lot of the blame on me for the things that I was doing. you know, and even if it was something that she did, you know, I'd make sure it was me. I did it, you know. And I just remember one night where I don't know if it was a pinnacle moment for her, but it was kind of a pinnacle moment for me where, you know, calling the cops on, I called the cops, bro. Like I called the cops, like I got scared, you know, like I didn't want to hurt her and she didn't want to hurt me. I was like, man, we're gonna call the cops. And when she stood up for me in that situation, I knew she was like down for me. She was like, I don't like the way you're talking to him. I don't like the way you're treating him. This is his place. He can live here. You know, like she was standing and I was just like, oh shit.
See, that's the power of love.
And that's what I'm saying.
And you see how that works is when you start falling in love with somebody, demonic, the devil, whatever you want to call it, they don't like that. That
Right.
influence, that love within a relationship can change everything. I do have a question though. When did you get a relationship? When did you build your relationship stronger with God?
Like that moment back on Genesee, when I made that decision to be tired of this all, and I made my choice for God.
Nice.
Because at that moment in time, when I made my choice, my hands lit up, bro. Like it was like glow fire, you know, straight light power. You know what I'm saying? It was like, I can't even describe how that, it was just warm. It was warm and it was embracing. It was all caring. And when I felt that, man, that thing let go of me so quick. That thing let go like, damn, like a bomb just went off. You know what I'm saying? But it's not going to affect me because I'm right here already with it. So anything that's not with me and what is not for God, then it's not going to be here. And it literally just boom. And it just, then like I didn't see it no more. But then at that moment in time, I must have been asleep because I'm already looking, but my eyes opened up.
Gotcha. Like out of body experience.
An out of body experience.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck? So at that moment in time, I was like fighting already. Like, nah, boy. Hell nah.
So you was ready to take ownership of your life. And by doing that, you got closer with God.
Yeah.
Because you knew it would straighten shit out.
Yeah.
Now you know the test of faith. It's very powerful.
It's very powerful.
So once you go to God, you always will be tested.
Yes.
Because that's, and this is something I will say too, like for everybody that deals with what he's dealing with or what you was dealing with, that was the test as well. What did you resort to? Going to God.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. So when I hear people go through these situations and they talk about their experience and then they find this source. Now maybe they're not 100% committed, but they still with God, right? Then God did what he had to do. Right. Because at the end of the day, you did exactly what you were supposed to do, but you had to learn the hard way.
Right. Yeah.
You see? Yeah. And that was the whole point. Now, for some people, they like to go back and forth. They get into God. I love you, Jesus Christ. Then they go back into a cult or they do some stupid stuff. Oh, they want to practice that. They want to do tarot cards. Yeah. Not saying that tarot cards are bad, but I think the average person's not ready for that and they shouldn't be playing with that. Right. I'm pretty strict when it comes to how things are done. And the reason for that is because the average person, it's really easy. Like you said, the piece of paper was your source of conjuring or even your thoughts. Yeah. A thought, a piece of paper is a Ouija board. When you're asking demonic, if you're asking the devil to do things, your answer will be heard. Right. If you write on a piece of paper, hey, who's here right now? Can you do this? That's no different than what you just did with the Ouija board. Right. It's the same thing. Right. Right. When you start opening those doors, you have to close those doors.
Never close any of them.
They still don't close. Those doors stay there. They will open back up. But it determines on how you live your life from then and on. And so what I like to tell people when I'm hearing this type of stuff is like the best way to keep those doors closed is when you start. Remember when you told me and you said this perfectly, you will find people and you will plant that seed, but you'll plant that seed for them to not to believe. Right. Now you're the reverse. Yep. Find people, conversate, plant the seed, believe in God. Those doors stay shut. Because now you're building this, it's going to intention, right? Your intention is love. And that good energy is what's keeping those demonic things at bay. When you're involved in something like this, the sad thing is that it really doesn't leave you. You'll always have something, so like residue, right?
Okay, yeah, right.
It can always open back up. But that's more important for you because now it keeps you closer with God and it's forcing you to like, hey, wake the fuck up because this is what's going to happen. And this is why, same for me, a lot of people will talk to me and then I start talking about God and I was talking about Jesus Christ. I'll run it through and they'll be like, man, you talk about it so easy. I said, that's my life. That's who I am.
Right.
You know, and with my experiences and dealing with what I dealt with, I wouldn't change that. And no one could convince me. After everything I seen, you can't even try to bring up science because everything I seen, you know what I mean?
Right.
So when you got closer with God, did you have experiences like of healing? Because what it sounds like to me, right?
Yeah.
It sounds like you are gifted, right? But you just choose to walk the negative path, right? And then so the problem right here that you have is like, since you're doing that, now you close yourself off because you dealt with so much. It's like a traumatic moment when you get beat your whole life, but then now you can't do certain things in your life because that traumatic moment blocks certain things in your life. Well, that's the same thing, but for spiritual, right? So now when you really want to help people, you really can't because you already been through so much. You just want to live normal, but then some of that stuff is just at bay. And sometimes it's good for people, but sometimes you can help a lot of people too, you know? And even the word, like I said, the word is important. It doesn't matter if they're Jehovah, it doesn't matter if they're Christian, Catholic. We are all believers in God. And if they're not, listen, you can't force nobody, but that's their calling. They got to learn that. I would never force anybody. When they're like, man, I don't believe in that. Don't force them. Let them learn.
Yeah.
Let them learn. You know, some people are just not into it. And I don't think it's right for people to try to force that down people's throat.
If it comes up to where, you know, a person I'm talking to, and like I said, I could feel it out. I can know a situation or whatever, even, you know, at work. Not to put my business out there all the way, but I'm a former corrections officer. So dealt with a lot of bad people for about 2 years. I seen a lot of demonic energy running through the prison. Every time I'm chilling, man, I can look down there and there's something staring at me, but I don't know what it is. But it's far. It's not in my face anymore like it used to be. You see what I'm saying?
So remember when I told you the doors always be open?
It's far now.
Yeah.
A cool ass moment that I had when I graduated, I was putting on my uniform and like all the toilets, man, were going off. Cause there are automatic sensors.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they all started to go off like a cheer. It was like a cheer, man. It was just like in sync of a rhythm, all going off.
Oh, wow.
And I remember being in there, just suiting up. My dad came. I knew my dad was with me.
That's a beautiful thing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing.
I said, yeah. Like, I did it, Dad.
Yeah. You felt your dad's presence. Yeah.
I was like, I did it. You know, at that time.
Go ahead, man. Get it. You know?
A lot of man, like when you have to manifest things up, I did that. Somebody showed me the door. I walked through that bad boy. I never miss an opportunity. That's what I come to realize in life. I see something, I'm going to try to get it.
Hell yeah.
And that moment is like, I was in tune with it. I was like, yeah, Dad, I did it. Yeah, I'm there. Hey, you know, look where I came from. I was 5, 6 years ago. Yeah, I was doing my thing. And I felt my dad in that moment time too. You know, I could smell him. I could smell my dad. And he was happy then too. But seeing what he's seen right here, he was like,
nice.
He's like, damn, boy, that's what you want to do? Okay. So I felt that. And I was like, man, yeah. But like I said, being in that environment, coming with a lot of people, a lot of mental confusion, a lot of things going on with them, I could see that stuff, yo. It was like, I could see that stuff. And the reason I left that profession is because I realized when I got a little tipsy, that dark energy was coming out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I almost lost my family for it.
Shit.
So my wife, she recorded me one time. And when I seen it when I was sober, like, I thought I had it at bay. I thought I had everything under control. But I guess I didn't. And that job was a lot of stress.
Man. Yeah, it's a lot. That type of work, that career is very tough.
And don't get me wrong. I mean, I wasn't scared when I did the job. I was cool when I did the job. The job was easy.
But it's
I know how,
in the sense of like
dealing with everybody's personalities, because you have to adapt to that environment. If that person's cool, you're cool. If that person's mean, you gotta be mean. So now he knows you tough.
Yep.
And adapting on a fly, on a switch, and just dealing with it all. You know, it worked for me because a lot of seniors in that profession were like, "Damn, Cortez, you walk around here like you a senior. And you only been here a year and a half. How you got camaraderie with everybody here? You can raise your voice and everybody gonna listen to you." It's just my personality. I'm only giving what they're giving me. If they're gonna give me shit, I'm gonna give them shit. They're gonna give me good shit, I'm gonna give them good shit.
Right.
And they know that I'm here for my job. I'm not here to make their shit worse.
Mm-hmm. What was the most craziest thing you seen up in there?
Dude split himself open.
Wait, with what?
A glass.
Oh,
he was getting transferred. He was a chomo. He was getting transferred out because where I was at, it's a big holding tank.
Mm-hmm.
You could choose to do your time there, but most people don't, and most people do. This guy, he didn't want to choose his time to do there, so he wanted to leave. So he was going further up instead of right next door to Cotton. He was going further up, and this guy cut himself all the way open because he was a chomo, and so he already knew motherfuckers was going to get him where he was going.
Yeah,
because he must have got word or something. So he got a hold of some glass in the paddy wagon or whatever, cut himself all the way up. Inside is just out, bleeding all over the floor and everything, and he's chewing on glass.
What the fuck?
Yeah, just chewing on it. You know what I'm saying? Because he's handcuffed, but he's like just eating that bad boy.
So his fucking tripas are sticking.
Tripas are hanging out, my man.
Damn.
His tripas are just there. His whole fucking suit right there is just soaked in blood, and just bulging out. You know what I'm saying? The doctor. What?
How long did it take for him to go?
The doctor had it because they brought him because, like I said, they were right there where I was at. They had a hospital there, but it's only for patients that are already kind of like ill and dying.
Yeah,
not to do this type of this catastrophic trauma to someone's gut. No, he said you got to take him up the street. You know what I'm saying? To Jackson's hospital, you got to take him up the street. He's like, I can't do nothing because everybody's like, hey, we need a flashlight. So I had to pull out mine. Oh, Cortez always coming to work ready today. Looking at him and shit. And he's like, yeah, he got to go. We can't do nothing for him here because it's all out. It's all out. He has to go to surgery, get into surgery, and get all that pushed back in.
Did he make it?
Man, from what I heard, yeah, he made it.
Shit.
Yeah, he made it.
Talk about trying to... Oh, man.
Yo. Yeah.
Oh, God.
There is a couple of times where a guy, he likes to shit on himself and smear it everywhere. And a lot of motherfuckers, man, be like tweaking out, like, I don't want to give him, because the nurses, they didn't want to open the door and shit. And I was kind of worried too, you know, like, man, this guy might spaz out. But at that moment in time, I'll be praying. I need you, God. I need you. Give me strength. Give me strength. I need you. Because this man, I don't know what this man's going to do, but I'm going to calm him when I'm in this room. And he'd be calm. He'd be calm. He'd be doing his thing. Only because he had a mental issue. Like, he literally had a mental issue. Now, I could tell a mental person from a person that just wants to put shit all over them for attention.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I could tell them type of people. And them, I just go in there and just be like, you know to calm down, right? She just want to get your blood pressure. Yeah, it's good, Cortez, it's good. Yeah, here. Shit all over them. Shit all on the walls and shit everywhere.
Man.
And that's when like COVID was kind of big still, so I couldn't smell.
Oh shit, because you got the COVID.
So I couldn't smell. So I just be in there like this.
Yeah.
Everybody be tweaking and I'd be like, what's wrong? You don't smell this shit in here? You know? Yeah. I'm just like, no, I don't.
Damn.
Like I had to like really get a good sniff and I'm like, oh, it smells like some type of chemical in here. Yeah. But that's the smell of shit. It's a chemical, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it didn't bother me at all, this shit.
If you had anything to tell anybody right now that's watching, after dealing with these negative things and maybe some inspiration with God, what can you tell somebody? There's a young person that's going to be going through what you're going through. What would you want to tell somebody?
Definitely never to lose faith. In your most darkest hours, never lose faith. Never lose faith. You're not alone.
Okay. Oh yeah. It's an honor having you on my show.
Man,
I hope you enjoyed it.
Hey, thank you for letting me be here, man.
Yeah. So, again, everybody, this was a badass show. I didn't think it was going to go this long, to be honest with you. And I actually didn't think you had this long of a story.
Yeah.
I thought it was like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But no, you have a really good story, bro. I appreciate everything you did to come out here. Again, everybody, thank you for coming on the show. Again, you already know what time it is. If you like it, share it. If you don't like it, talk that shit. I don't give a fuck. Thank you.